Obviously, we think we're doing something slightly different. We call it the Bitcoin yield reserve in the context of that yield I just mentioned. But this is a speedboat option for us to get into the capital markets with a view to proving in a listed vehicle that we can get that healthy yield on Bitcoin with the downside risk protection.
Hello, you're watching Proactive. I'm joined by Greengage founder and CEO Sean Kiernan. Sean, very good to meet with you. For viewers new to the story, could you tell us a little bit about Greengage and what you do?
Great to be here, Stephen. We're a fintech platform in the sense that we offer accounts and lending through our platform to clients. The accounts are delivered with banking as a service partners, and our lending is focused on B2B private credit. Our flagship product is facilitating wholesale Bitcoin-backed loans.
Can you tell us who your key target clients are for the fintech platform and what gap it's filling?
Definitely. So we've seen this broader theme of debanking emerge. I think Nigel Farage has popularized this, but it's a problem for a lot of businesses in the country. Famously, 140,000 businesses were debanked last year, according to reports in Parliament. And a lot of our clients are in the crypto space, in the sense that they're crypto companies, high net worths that might have had a source of wealth in this industry. And it's very difficult for them to get traditional banking accounts. Similarly, we find that SMEs, or the lifeblood of the economy, are not getting as many loans as they used to get from banks. And so we're looking to address those two issues, really, that lack of steady fiat accounts for our clients, but more importantly, and where we make most of our money, that access to lending, where we act as a facilitator to connect borrowers and lenders, mostly in the private credit space.
Sean, how exactly is your Treasury model differentiated from established peers?
So I think there's a lot of innovation in this space, and we're adding our own flair. In our industry, the first wave of Bitcoin Treasury firms were, I would call, the buy and hold variant. And we're very much of the banker backgrounds and looking to hedge the asset and also work that asset to get a yield. And so our version is using our own fintech platform, where we're experts in understanding the crypto-backed lending market, to get a loan against Bitcoin that we will purchase through IPO proceeds at very competitive rates, and then deploy out the loan proceeds to the private credit world, earning a spread of interest where we'll earn more on the private credit than we'll be paying for the cost of the loan against Bitcoin.
Could you also tell us a little bit more about the Bitcoin yield reserve strategy and how that works?
Sure. So the first piece of this is to buy Bitcoin. So with the IPO proceeds, the lion's share of that will be buying Bitcoin ourselves. We'll be working with the likes of Coinbase Prime to hold that Bitcoin with a very reputable name. With that Bitcoin, we will then immediately get a loan against that. And that gives us that loan proceeds. So we'll be borrowing against the Bitcoin into fiat, so US dollar equivalents and stablecoins, and then deploying in the third step, those US dollar stablecoins out to generate yield. And we'll be lending that ourselves into short duration, diversified private credit pools, where we'll get on average a better return on that deployment than we will get from the cost of the loan against Bitcoin. The beauty of that is not just that the net interest margin means we're getting a healthy yield on the underlying Bitcoin, but the loan acts as a hedge on the downside risk. So if Bitcoin were to tank, it's a very volatile asset, we'll be able to walk away with the loan proceeds and therefore manage our downside risk. So at most, we will lose roughly 30% if Bitcoin were to drop 50%, versus a peer group that will just ride that wave, if you will, up and down. And we're looking at ways of protecting ourselves from downside, but still enjoying the full upside should Bitcoin appreciate, which I think in the medium term, we're all confident that there will be some upside for Bitcoin.
So you mentioned the IPO, and of course, you announced plans recently to float on the access segment of the Aquis Stock Exchange alongside an accompanying fundraise. Tell us more about your reasons for listing on Aquis and the opportunity for investors there.
So we're really excited to list. It's a big deal. And having built the business now for 7 years, it's a long time coming. We've been very closely watching the emerging liquidity in the Bitcoin Treasury space on Aquis, and it seems that's where the bulk of the trading is in the UK market. So it's a very advanced exchange on Aquis for Bitcoin Treasuries. Obviously, we think we're doing something slightly different. We call it the Bitcoin yield reserve in the context of that yield I just mentioned. But this is a a speedboat option for us to get into the capital markets with a view to proving in a listed vehicle that we can get that healthy yield on Bitcoin with the downside risk protection. Afterwards, with a quarter or two of this under our belt, we think we're in a much better place to maybe go back to the market and raise some more funds, hopefully giving a good option for investors that come in now to enjoy that upside as well alongside the journey with us.
Well, with that IPO lying ahead, Sean, can you talk to us about the prospects for the business and the size of the opportunity in the market for you?
Yes, we're very keen to grow our core fintech platform business. We see a big market for that. And part of the IPO process is for us to build awareness of our core product, which we've now demonstrated product market fit, and that we've opened over 40 accounts for some very interesting clients with our banking as a service partners. And we've also done over $350 million of loans already on platforms. We've hit some really good metrics. So we're keen to grow that core business with additional awareness of our products and services, some additional investors on the cap table, but also end up generating some yield on Bitcoin. So most platform businesses eventually have to take a principal position. In our case, that principal position naturally is Bitcoin. And then to use that Bitcoin to reinvest back into lending to the likes of SMEs through partners on our platform is something that we're really passionate around.
Sean, it sounds like a great story. I hope you'll keep us posted on your progress.
Thank you very much, Stephen. Delighted to be here.
Thank you. Sean Kiernan, the CEO and founder of Greengage.